n8n has just released an AI workflow builder, which means we can write out a single prompt and instantly turn it into any n8n AI workflow or AI agent. We simply tell it exactly what we're looking for, and it understands every node that is a part of n8n, and it's able to figure out the entire system itself. This means you no longer have to spend the time building out these systems yourself, and we can now let the AI handle it. So jumping into n8n right here, you're gonna see on the page, on the sort of canvas of the workflow, a brand new tool or brand new function right here that says build with AI. And I'm able to click into this right here. And on the right-hand side, we're gonna see this sort of chatbot pop up on the right-hand side. We just tell it exactly what we're looking for, what we're looking to automate, and with its context on all of the nodes and functions, a part of n8n, it is going to construct the entire workflow and deliver it right in front of us. Before I get started, if you do want to get access to the AI workflow builder tool, there is one thing that you will need to do. So this feature has just been released for all of the public to use, although you do need to swap your n8n version over to the latest beta. And currently at the moment, this will only work on the cloud version of n8n. So once you've swapped it over to the latest beta, obviously make sure to save that change. It will swap it over and download the new version. And once you've done that, you're gonna see this pop up. If you don't see it pop up right away like I did, it might take an hour or two to come up. But anyways, once it's on the screen, you are gonna be able to click into it and you are going to get the chat-like interface pop up on the right-hand side here. And it really is super simple to use. The only thing that we need to do is just type in here and it is going to build out the workflow in front of our face. Below this, we've got some suggestions as to some things that we can prompt it to build. So I'll get started with one of these examples and just give you my honest thoughts on its ability to build these agents, whether this is something that you should be actually using or you should just go back to building them manually. Getting started, I'm going to go ahead and select one of the examples that they've given us right here. So I'm going to click on the pizza delivery chatbot. When you click on one of these examples, it just auto-populates a prompt that they've built into the chat box up here, and then we can just send it off from here. So it says here, I need an n8n workflow that creates a chatbot for my pizza delivery service. The bot should be able to answer customer questions about our pizza menu, take their orders accurately by capturing pizza type, quantity, and customer details, and provide real-time updates when customers ask about their order status. So it's like an ordering system for a pizza takeaway shop. This particular prompt has some more specifics at the bottom here as well, telling it to use 4.1 mini to handle the conversations and also to integrate with HTTP APIs to get product info and manage orders. And then there's a bit of prompting at the bottom here. The workflow must contain conversational context so the chatbot feels natural and can process multiple user queries sequentially. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna click the red button right here and it's gonna get sent off into the agent. Once you've done that, you're gonna see some new things pop up on the screen. So you're gonna see the thinking process has started. So the AI is obviously in action here. You'll see the n8n AI is now talking to us as it goes through this process. So this is a very similar process to if you've ever vibe coded an app, maybe using Replit. It's a very similar interface and a very similar process of development. So it's telling us that it's going ahead and building the chatbot for us. You can see that it's actually searching through the nodes that would be necessary in order to build this. And you can see on the screen right now, it's also populated some of the nodes that it thinks is necessary to follow through with the instructions that I gave it. It went ahead and got those nodes. It's added those nodes. Now it's connecting all of those nodes together. So it really is a step-by-step process that it runs through for the n8n AI agent that builds AI agents. And all we need to do is just wait and it is going to tell us when it's complete and then we can have a look through the build. So there we have it. The agent has now completed the request that we gave it. And we can see that we've got the brand new workflow on our page right here. We've got the pizza chatbot agent. Connected to it is a chat model from OpenAI with their 4.0 mini model. I believe the prompt was to do the 4.1 mini model. So I'm not sure what went wrong there, but that's obviously something that we can very easily change. Conversation memory has been added as well. So they're pretty basic to get added to an agent step. And then next to this, we got these 3 tools that get automatically populated with our agent as well. And so these 3 tools right here are HTTP requests. So obviously in order to get this to work, we would need some sort of real HTTP requests to get some real data back. Obviously, if this was for a real pizza ordering place, they would have a proper menu that's online somewhere. They would have an ordering system that we would be able to plug into to check the order statuses as well. And so you can see that this agent and that prompt we gave it has sort of given us a bunch of placeholder values. If you did want to make this a bit more complete and you already had the endpoints, we could probably just prompt it and it would be able to reference those endpoints and automatically set this up all for us. There's obviously going to be some manual work required. So this obviously isn't the best example to prompt and then get a fully functioning system out of it. These are some areas that you'll need to obviously build, and these are going to be nodes that you need to configure yourself. What I do think is really cool about the chatbot or the agent on the side of the screen here is that we can just talk to it if we have any questions about the flow that it's just generated. So if we have questions about setting up these requests right here, we can just ask it. It has also automatically provided us a list of setup instructions on how to handle this as well. So we've got how to set up, configure the pizza menu API, configure the other APIs, activate the workflows. It's given us a step-by-step instruction on how to do everything anyways. And it's also telling us that we need to complete these steps before executing the workflow as well. So we've got to click into here and then we can add in all of our values. If I just go ahead and click into the pizza chatbot agent, you'll see that it has gone ahead and filled out the system message for this agent. So it has prompted it itself, which is awesome as well. And this is very tailored to the workflow because it has context on everything that's going on. So you'll see here, your role is to help customers with browsing the pizza menu. It's been prompted to take orders by collecting pizza type, quantity, size, customer name, delivery address, a bunch of other values, as well as providing the order status updates. So these 3 points right here are the 3 tools that it is currently connected to. Just from this quick test right here, I think this is definitely a tool that you can use to automate at least the first part of getting a system built out. Obviously, we still need to populate all of the API endpoints and get all of that data. But ultimately, the prompt and the workflow that it's building here and the way that it's set it up is pretty much what you would expect for this type of system. It is quite a simple use case, but it would definitely save you at least a little bit of time if you were to just start building these systems from scratch. I've just gone ahead and reset the entire canvas, and I'm going to jump into another example down below. So let's say we wanted to do the one for YouTube video chapters. If I clicked on this, I can have a look at the prompt that they made. And it says here, I want to build an n8n workflow that automatically creates YouTube chapter timestamps by analyzing the video captions. It should take a video ID as input, fetch the existing video metadata and captions from YouTube, use a language model like Google Gemini to pass that transcript into chapters with timestamps, and then update the video's description with these chapters appended. Let's go ahead and send this off to the agent right here and see what it is able to build for us. All right, so that has just completed and we can see the flow right here on the canvas. Scrolling in to the start here, we've got a manual trigger. So ultimately we can just trigger this. It's not a chat conversation. It's just going to be able to be executed by clicking on the execute workflow button. Jumping into here, this is where the video ID would go. So for that particular video that we're looking to get the chapters for, we would just add that ourselves manually right here. This would then get sent into some of these YouTube modules right here. So this is obviously something that we would have to set up our own credentials for. So this is something that is really important when it comes to generating these workflows usually, or if it is going to be using any nodes or modules that you haven't yet configured yourself, you do still need to jump into here and set up the credentials and connect that into your, in this case, a Google account or something, but that is going to be a manual process still. So it looks like this is going to get the video details from that particular video ID that we gave it. I think that looks pretty fair enough. Then from there, it's going to fetch that video. It's going to use those video details then to get the video captions. Then we move on to this step, which is going to set up 3 different fields for the transcript, the video title, and the current description, which is all getting from the previous step where we looked at the actual video captions and video details. Once it's got those values, we're going to be able to then send that into the AI chapter generator. Clicking into here, looks like we've got a prompt. You are a YouTube chapter generator. Analyze the following video transcript and create chapter timestamps in this format. So we can see the chapters that it's given it here. And it's even added in some rules right here for building out these chapters. This prompt, once again, has all been created by the AI itself. It's even added in all of the variables into the prompt, and this is pretty well formatted. It's clearly been trained on how to prompt engineer, and n8n has clearly done a pretty good job here as to tell it how to write and how to add the variables into this particular box. So that is pretty impressive that it's able to write out that prompt using and referencing everything from here, and obviously being relevant to exactly what we're looking to have. It's connected to the Google Gemini model as was prompted at the start of the conversation. Then it goes into this code step right here, which is going to be passing the AI response using JavaScript right here. So it's actually written some code to pass through the responses. I suppose that this is to help cut out any of the extra text that our AI may have generated in the previous step. And this code right here is to just specifically pluck out all of the chapter elements out of the text. Then next, it's going to create an updated description for the video as well. If I click into here, we've got an updated description field, which we're now assigning a new value to. We're taking the current description, which was pulled back from the previous step with the YouTube video to get the description. And it's just adding the plus with the chapters and then using the JSON.chapters from the previous step. And now we've got a new description and we've got chapters added into it as well. Then obviously we're going to be updating the video description right here with the video ID connected into our credential, of course, with a new title, with all the new description fields. So we can add all of those timestamps and this runs fully automatically for us. Just from that brief run through right there, this looks really good. This seems like it would do the job. It's got all of the necessary modules in order to complete exactly what we would be looking for. We can obviously upload our video. We can get it to run manually by clicking the button. It's got a pretty solid prompt to have a look at that and then configure the chapters. And it's got the ability to then add that back to the description and then send it back to the YouTube video. Without running the workflow myself, it is obviously hard to tell if this is exactly what would be necessary in order to get to the finished product, but it's going to be pretty close. And this is going to be a pretty big time saver when it comes to building these types of templates. I'll do one more example here. I'm going to go ahead and prompt it myself. I'm not going to use their ones that they've built specifically. I'll prompt it to build a lead researcher system that maybe uses one of the Perplexity tools with the agent to do some research, maybe look at some LinkedIn articles as well to find information about particular people. So maybe ideally we can just send it a name or a company name or maybe both, and then it's going to be able to use that information to do some really solid research using whatever modules that it thinks necessary, and then give us back a report on that particular person. So I might say build a lead researcher agent. I should be able to send a name and company name to this agent. It needs to be able to access all the latest information about this person via the Perplexity tool. Ideally, look them up on LinkedIn and find more information about them. At the end of this, please generate a modern styled PDF report about this person. So ultimately, we're going to have an agent that we're able to provide it with a person with their company that should be able to go through one agent or multiple different agents to do some research about them. Hopefully it tries to look them up on LinkedIn specifically, whether that's using a LinkedIn module or maybe just looking at the LinkedIn URLs on the Perplexity tool. There's probably a couple of different ways that it can do it. Ultimately, I want to get sent back a PDF report that's got some nice styling that gives me a full-on detailed description about this person. I've sent it off and let's see if it's able to build it. Okay, so this is now complete. We've got the chatbot right here and it was able to build out the entire system that we were looking for. We've got the Perplexity tool that is populated, connected into the lead researcher agent. It's also added on this LinkedIn tool right here as well. And we can see that it's generating a PDF report, which hopefully we're going to be able to download and then view. It's connected into an OpenAI chat model, which should be perfect for this. Now, one thing that does stand out to me immediately is that the LinkedIn tool right here is actually using a create post tool. So I don't think that this is going to be any use to us whatsoever for the particular purpose of doing lead researching. So I'm not sure why it used this particular tool. I assume there just isn't any tools that are on LinkedIn on n8n at the moment to do with actually researching. So immediately one thing that I might do is just delete this module, or maybe I can just ask it and get some feedback. So I might just say this LinkedIn tool seems to create posts. I don't think it will be very useful for this agent. So I've just told it that I don't think that that particular node is going to be of any use for this particular agent. And you can see there, it has already started to modify it in real time and it literally just deleted it right in front of my face there. And it just removed it. It's obviously processing and thinking about it a little bit more. And hopefully we can get a system that's going to be a little bit more complete. It just updated the lead researcher agent as well. So it probably changed the prompt a little bit as well. It's going to try and do as much as it can. So you obviously are going to have to review these systems as they are generated. Anyways, let's give this a try and see if it works for the Perplexity tool. I have my Perplexity account already connected. Looking into some of the other settings here on Perplexity, doesn't look like it has a particular message that's been set here to get sent in. Usually what I would use is this button right here, which would allow the AI agent itself to determine what message to send off here. So that is a bit weird that that wasn't automatically selected. So once again, things like this and settings like that are things that you will have to dive into and look into. Otherwise, jumping into the lead researcher agent, if we click into here, it's got a user message prompt. So we're using the chat trigger right here. So we're sending messages for this agent to work. Please research the input and provide a comprehensive report. And we can jump into the main system message prompt. You're a professional lead researcher. Your task is to gather comprehensive information about a person on their name and company. Use the Perplexity tool to find the latest information about them, including their professional profile, LinkedIn presence, and any publicly available information. Blah, 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 bunch of information and a bunch of instructions for it to use that Perplexity tool to find information about the individual. So should work quite well, obviously, now that it's been selected to just use AI for its particular messages. Once that's complete and we've got the output from the agent itself, it doesn't look like there's any specific format that this has been prompted to output, but we do have this code step right here, which is a JavaScript step, which is going to be looking at the information just generated from our AI agent step. So this JavaScript code right here is clearly been designed to actually generate the HTML report itself based on the OpenAI information. Now, this is probably not the way that I would initially do it. I think that we could probably get the AI to generate this HTML for us without the need for this entire process, but we can have a look and see what happens, but I don't think this is going to be the best way to do it. Otherwise, that HTML code is going to get converted into a PDF file, which is going to be the lead research report.pdf, and that will get sent to us to view. Otherwise, let's just click execute and refine, and we can send it a name and a company name and just see what happens. So I'm going to send it the name of Alex Hormozi, and I'm going to say the company is acquisition.com. Should be popular enough to pick that up and give us a report on him. So we've sent that through. Looks like the OpenAI model has worked. The chat trigger obviously working. Perplexity now being triggered to find some information. This might run multiple times. It's obviously going to do the necessary research based on the prompt that we got. And here we go. It just completed, and we can see here, no response. Make sure the last executed node outputs the content to display here. So clearly we did get the download button right here with the data. So we can click download, and that is going to give us the lead research report.pdf. And that gives us this error message right here, failed to load PDF document. And my assumption is that the generate HTML right here didn't do probably a good enough job of generating the HTML document. In this case, I might just tell the agent that I don't agree with the way that it's currently generating the HTML report. I would like the agent itself, the AI agent, to generate that HTML code. We can keep the generate HTML module and node right here, but we just need it to maybe clean up the code that comes from the agent itself and then send that off to the PDF report right here. The main reason for that is that there's no real AI step happening in this particular case. It has a structure for HTML. It's got a structure for the PDF document, but ultimately for the information that's coming from our lead researcher agent, it's sort of just throwing in, it's just populating it in as a variable. And it's obviously going to be way too much information to make this a document that actually looks any good. So I might just say, please generate the HTML code within the AI agent step. So we'll see what happens after telling it to generate the HTML code within the AI agent step. And we'll see what it does now to get to that final PDF document. You can see that it's actually removed the node completely. We'll see if that works. I don't think that will work either. We do actually need to send the binary code of the HTML into this particular node right here. So let's see if it picks up on that. Otherwise, we can give it a shot. And then it will see the error, and then hopefully it can give us a final result here. But once again, as you can see, it is a little bit of a challenge to get a working system out of this agent builder. It is something that is pretty good. It's going to be helpful if you want to just quickly get all of the nodes and modules on the page and maybe get some prompts built out for you if they are going to be of a basic use case. But getting a production ready system out of this right away is just definitely something that's not quite feasible right now. Anyways, I'll go ahead and send it a brand new message and see if we can just send through this once again. And see if we can get any bit of a different result here, converting the HTML into a usable PDF file. I don't think this is going to work once again, because we aren't actually getting the proper information to be sent into this node right here, which requires a binary code in order to convert it into a PDF with the HTML code. At the moment, we're just generating that HTML code using this AI agent step. But we can give it a go and see what happens and see if that works. Maybe it does. I haven't tried this type of setup before, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so it is now complete and we've got the PDF file, but unfortunately we've got the error popping up once again, failed to load the PDF document. So this is getting a little bit annoying that it is obviously not quite getting an understanding as to how to use its own modules. Please use the HTML module to clean up the HTML from the AI agent step. And then we can reference this data in the convert to PDF file step. So hopefully this is going to be a better setup for it to be able to reference that HTML into the convert to PDF module at the end here. And once again, the way that that convert to PDF module works is that it takes binary code and we're able to reference that code from the HTML module, but we aren't able to reference that from text that it gets from the AI agent steps. You can see here, clean HTML, it's got a HTML5 step. I think that'll work quite well. And hopefully you can plug that all together, clean up the HTML and give us a proper report out of this. And there we have it. So it just ran through, took a bit of time there, but the clean HTML, if we jump into this, you can see that we've just got literally the HTML template coming directly from the AI agent with its output. And it's just using this module, which is specifically for configuring and fixing up the HTML. And you'll see with the bottom right here that we've got a bunch of text and this is a HTML format. So it's come through perfectly and it's formatted it with the convert to PDF here. Now, unfortunately, whilst we were able to get the nicely formatted HTML with all of the visual elements applied to it, so we could actually view it and see it, the convert to PDF step right here still just didn't work and isn't formatted or configured in any way to do it properly, unfortunately. So it didn't seem like it was able to figure out how to turn it into a working PDF file right here based on the previous step, even that it generated itself. For whatever reason, this tried to convert it to HTML once again, even though we're obviously looking for a PDF in this case. And I just don't think that n8n even has the ability to convert it to a PDF. So I have done a little bit of debugging and I have now a working solution. So just deleting that step right here and just adding in these two extra steps using the convert to file step. Once again, clicking into here. In this case, we're not converting it directly into the PDF using this convert to file step. We're just turning it into a usable HTML file. So we're taking that AI generated code and we're turning it into a file that can be used and referenced with binary code. If this is a little bit confusing, there are a lot of other tutorials around n8n to do with file manipulation and moving files around in a workflow. But once this step is complete, we will now have some data that we can reference that is specific to the HTML file. And then what I've added in is this particular step, which does a post API request to the convertapi.com endpoint. This is specifically for converting HTML to PDF files, which unfortunately, n8n just doesn't have anything native to do this with. So this does just highlight, and I think it is really good to cover this. n8n would not be able to just reference random APIs from the internet. And this is something that we would have to build ourselves in this case, as you see right here. So definitely a downside and something that they will have to figure out if they are going to be aiming to make it so that you can prompt it once and build out an entire workflow. But otherwise, this is pretty much referencing that HTML data from the binary file from the previous file step, where, as you can see right here, n8n binary file with the data from the previous step. And that's able to actually create a usable PDF. But anyways, I hope that gives you a good understanding as to where we're at with this AI agent workflow builder. We are able to instantly generate these types of workflows and these types of AI agents with the prompts and all of the nodes necessary to get started in building these out. But when it comes to having a final and delivered product, there is definitely still some manual work required from my end to get it to be exactly what I would expect it to be. I definitely wouldn't write this off right now. This is most definitely going to improve pretty radically over the next few months. So I would definitely be testing it out and using it as much as possible. If you want to learn more about AI and AI automation and using tools like n8n, I highly recommend you check out my completely free school community. We've got over 18,000 members now, so you can connect and network with a lot of others. If you do want to join, I'll have it linked down below.